Oh, I guess no intro, huh? What happened, Chris? Welcome to Show Me the Money. It's Tuesday, August 5th, episode number 168. So, welcome to Show Me the Money. Today, as you guys can tell, I'm solo, but doesn't mean we're not going to have a good show. Actually, we may have a better show because we're going to do a super duper interactive episode, meaning we're going to do live Q&A. So I know the chat's flying, but I'm going to try to answer as many questions as possible. And after the guest shows up, so we'll have a guest, obviously. And did you guys know today was National Dashcam Day? Actually, Abdul didn't even know that until I told him a couple days ago. So, folks, today is National Dashcam Day. And who better to show up on National Dashcam Day than the CEO of DisplayRide, a good friend of the channel who has been on the show before. And he's here again to talk about it. They had a couple of major victories, but I'm going to let him talk about that. So bear with me. I'll put him on. Then no topics. Everything goes. You guys can ask me anything you want, as long as it's not too personal, obviously, or my weight or things like that, or am I wearing pants? Come on. But then I'm going to put the link out, and you all can grab the link and come on the show. That's why it's going to be a super interactive one. And if you guys do enjoy it, maybe we'll do one of these Q&A sessions separately outside Show Me the Money Club. So that may actually cut down on my email work. But so without further ado, I'm going to bring Adbul Kasim on. He is the CEO of DisplayRide, and here he is. Abdul, welcome.
Thank you so much, Sergio. Great to be back.
Yes, you're a veteran on this channel now. You've been at least a couple times, maybe. So DisplayRide is a company that I use for a while, and look, driver safety for me, personally speaking, is paramount. Obviously, for DisplayRide as well. And look, every day we read about it on the, my Google feed is full of, this happened, carjacking, stabbing, shot, whatever. You all may say, well, what is going to a dash cam do? Well, a dash cam does a lot. In fact, see, the dash cam is talking about it. But driver safety is paramount these days. It only has to happen once, and it changes a life. So, Abdul, introduce yourself, introduce the company, and I know your camera is talking. You have one. We'll do a little quick demo because there's a couple other things I want to talk to you about.
Sure, love to. I'm Abdul Kasim, CEO of DisplayRide. DisplayRide, we are focused. We, in fact, created the company around rideshare, right? We saw that tons of dash cams, obviously, and all those kind of things. But we built one. I hate to say dash cam because it's a lot more than dash cam. But our focus has been driver safety. So that has been our singular purpose. And the result was what we call the rideshare monitoring platform. Fundamentally, we have three goals, and the three goals, we continue to maintain it for the last 5 years that we've been in business. And it's basically around preventing safety issues before they happen, not after the fact, like they do in most cameras. So we try to be more proactive, more intelligent, and more predictive in doing that. The second thing we try to do is try to document everything that can happen, right? Everything. We, as you'll see, I'll show you a camera in a second, but we record everything, we upload immediately to the cloud. So, and everything, and you cannot sort of manipulate it, so to speak. Everything is automatically, it's encrypted and sent. Finally, we try to enable the potential to intervene if there is an incident, because unfortunately there's nothing like 100% safety and security, right? Which is why there's insurance companies, obviously. So if there is anything happening, we try to intervene. We try to discover there's a problem or whatever, and then we try to allow, we kind of notify people and things of that sort. One of the key components for our solution is it's always connected, and this is the camera portion of it. This is the dash cam, just so you know. It has dual cameras. It is a camera which is facing the roadside. It has a couple of cameras facing inside the cabin. Just for context, this is my iPhone, so it's a little smaller than the iPhone and probably weighs probably a little less. But yeah, it captures it. It has here its own wireless connection, very much like your mobile phone. It has storage, and it takes literally about 60 seconds to install, self-install. You just plug it in, turns on, you peel this off, stick it onto your windshield, and you're ready to go. So yeah, we have thousands of these all over the place, and we are delighted to be helping. It's really helping a lot of drivers. In fact, I think, as I was telling Sergio before, what we are trying to evolve to is literally having a co-driver next to you, you know, who's looking out for you. That's the whole thing. Except the co-driver is not going to drink your coffee, of course, but they're always on. So, as soon as the vehicle starts, right, the camera is nothing for any driver to do anything. It's automatically recording and storing everything on the cloud automatically, right? Nothing for the driver to do, right? At the end of the and it just records and keeps it. At the end of every day, it also sends you like a list of all the rides, and just gives you what we call a summaries of all the trips. But as importantly, I feel, and this is some of the new things that we've introduced, it also gives you what we call as a deactivation possibility score, right? It records two things, how you drove, and also the interaction within the cabin. Two things which are important. And you guys, a lot of our drivers drive like for hours and hours, so they're not mindful of it. So this kind of alerts you, like saying, hey, maybe you're on the phone too often, or you're drowsy or whatever. It gives you some kind of feedback. Again, this is solely sent to the driver. Nobody else has access to it. But the idea is you kind of alert the driver to do better or to be mindful of things. So, hopefully nothing bad happens, right? And of course, we need to have deactivation support, right? At a touch of a button, you can get, last 15 days of all day videos, which you'll get it right to your phone on a link. You can send it to Uber, Lyft, whoever, because they don't tell you why you're being deactivated, obviously.
Yeah, usually they give you a range, right?
Exactly.
They go, well, in this day and age, 2 weeks ago this happened, and then we don't even remember what. But then, as drivers, Abdul, we all know when things are about to go sideways in a car, or we know which passenger probably did what they did, but then you never know because they put a fraudulent complaint, and then you're off the road for 72 hours minimum until you go through the app, do the in-app appeal. And look, there is a saying, right? Picture is worth 1,000 words. Video is worth 1,000,000 words. Because look, that's the proof. And that's the fastest way you can get back on the road. And that's one of the reasons dashcam is important for. I want to talk to you a little bit about a major victory for Displayride. So, people who watch us, they know that companies have raised the fares on the riders. Okay. The reason they're giving for this is mostly that the commercial insurance companies have raised their rates. I mean, that's not the driver's fault, obviously. However, they're saying a bulk of it, on Lyft and Uber's case, it goes to commercial insurance, right? And the increase has been literally astronomical when it comes to commercial insurance. So DisplayRide had a major victory, actually, in New York City. Let's talk a couple of minutes about that.
Sure. We, in New York, obviously, 100,000 drivers, right? But one of the big challenges in New York City is also what's called staged accidents, right? There's almost cartels around this where they go and come and hit you. It's all staged. And then there's a whole value chain, like there's a doctor, there's a physical therapist, and so on.
Yeah.
So the idea, the unfortunate thing is the insurance, the cost of every incident balloons up to hundreds of thousands, right? So all as it is, drivers in New York City pay about $300 minimum for commercial insurance. And now with all these kind of incidents, right, it's only going to balloon up, which is making the whole industry unsustainable, right? I mean, you can't pay $800 for your insurance and still drive for make enough money. So So that's the reason we partnered with ATIC, which is American Transit Insurance, which is one of the largest insurance companies out in the city, and also the New York Federation of Taxi Drivers, and also some brokers to address that issue, because we want to capture that information before. So you otherwise they come and say, oh, you hit us, and it's again the same old story about who's responsible, and it's hard to prove. And then, like I said, these guys have a cartel. So a doctor comes and tells, oh yeah, he broke his bone, he broke a thing, he's incapacitated, so it's going to cost you $1 million, like that,
Yeah.
right? So at the end of the day, it's thing. So we are working. We've deployed. We launched a couple of weeks ago. About 500 drivers across the city. And we're constantly monitoring, and it's recording all the information. And based on that, we are hoping that it will completely deter such kind of incidents. Or if they do happen, we know exactly what happens, and so the insurance cost can go down a little bit. And at the end of the day, it's affecting everybody in the value chain, especially the driver, right? Because if a driver encounters even a stage accident, irrespective of his fault, his insurance will go up, premium
Yeah,
will.
for sure. Yeah, in
So
fact, Uber is suing one of the top, actually, if not the top, personal injury attorneys in California. And I mean, his billboards are everywhere, and he sponsors the Lakers. Basically, he really does, and he's the largest one in California. And Uber is taking him to court, to literally to federal court, saying that a lot of these are staged because they know we have the deep pockets on period 3. We have $1 million liability. They put a couple of riders in the car, they come rear-ended, and then here we go, right? And so yeah, that was major for DisplayRide. I'm pretty sure, and I'm sure you're happy about that. And I think we say it all the time, right? FYI, folks, the show notes include all the information regarding DisplayRide. There are a couple of questions I highlighted. We'll go through those towards the end of your segment. But besides safety, right? Uh, First of all, I also know now you're introducing some new AI features into DisplayRide, but let's talk a couple of minutes about the telematics, right? So we know Uber and Lyft send drivers a score, meaning, a driver score, and Uber works with Cambridge Telematics. Lyft, I don't know who they work with. I think it's in-house, grabs it from your gyroscope of your phone, and it's woefully inaccurate in most cases. Okay, so you guys are doing that as well, as far as telematics is concerned. So let's talk a couple of minutes about that.
sure, yeah, telematics, as I said, is very important. We obviously follow all the standards. It continually monitors certain things, like a sudden acceleration, sudden braking, sharp turns, things I which are known to cause, to be a predictor of accidents, obviously. But also another thing we are doing, Sergio, is we are trying to monitor, how a passenger feels, right? Because if you drive like a little bit crazy, passenger feels scared as well, and they're going to give you, bad rating, whatever, that kind of stuff. So we are monitoring both components. And also, sometimes you're unaware and you're looking at your phone and you're driving, and suddenly you just like jerk off, like, hey, what the happened? And you just take a sudden turn, or slam your brakes. So I think what we're trying to do is give a little more holistic insight of your own driving skills to make you more outful. Just giving a score may not be particularly valuable. Just like, okay, what does it mean, right? Like, okay, I got 70 or 80 or whatever. Okay, you did fair. What does it mean? We try to give more feedback, like, hey, you're looking on the phone too much. Hey, you need to focus more on the road. Hey, you're just accelerating, or you're going over speed limit quite consistently. Things like that. The other thing is we try to be a little bit sensible about it, meaning to say we don't like, all of us will, frankly, you'll accelerate a little bit. You're not exactly at 65 every time. You may go 67, 68, and if you keep on sending alerts, you'll go nuts. You'll just start ignoring it. So we
Yeah,
try to be sensible about it, and we're using a lot of AI around those kind of things to give a more meaningful, helpful, feedback. So
yeah,
that's something. And of course, we again, like all the, we have a gyroscope, accelerometer also in the device itself, and it's far more accurate than most phones as well. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the thing is, Drivers do get these threatening messages, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that. But I know for a fact that, for example, Cambridge Telematics, they have wrong data sets in their systems, and they continuously tell the driver you're speeding, although the driver tells me I'm not speeding. They have the data wrong. It's 35. I'm going 35, but in CMT's data set it says 25. So CMT keeps dinging the driver saying you're going too fast, right? But I think it's a good self checkpoint for the driver to see. Look, we all are driving. We get tired after 10 hours. We may rush here, do this, do that, but it's a good self checkpoint. By the way, this information is not going anywhere. It's your information. It's your data. It's not being sold to Uber, Lyft, or insurance companies or this or that. Your data is your data. One last thing. Let's talk a little bit about talking about it is before I put up a couple of questions for you. Is obviously there are competitors out there, right? If I did not have a DisplayRide or any dash cam, why should I go buy a DisplayRide, and why should I use the services?
Right. So uh, I believe because we are really focused on the rideshare community, rideshare problems. It's a lot of our competitors are basically dash cams, right? That means they're a tool which are used to monitoring, and yeah, you can do something. But our thing is more different. We're looking at it totally differently. We're not worried, for example, about monitoring is part of the game, but the overall reason you have it is you don't want to be in an accident, or if there's an accident, you have some information right away. Or more importantly, as in the case of rideshare, as you know, Sergio, deactivation.
Yep.
You're told, hey, you're deactivated. So what are you going to do? You're taking some of these dash cams. You have to pull out a memory card, put it in, or figure out, hey, what happened where, all those kind of things. For us, everything is tabulated. End of every day, you know exactly what you did, what your score was. And by the way, if there is any incident or so on, you will automatically, everything is stored, right? If we, for example, like I said, you said there's a gyroscope, right? If we discover a collision or some kind of incident, it'll automatically upload that and keep it for 1 year in the cloud.
Okay.
Because we recognize it's something. So, and like I said, it takes 60 seconds to install. Nobody can match it. You may have heard the camera speaking, so
Yeah.
to speak, right?
Yeah.
It's saying that, hey, please be aware that you're being recorded. It's a very simple thing, but it's based on a lot of science. It's just notifies like, hey, you're being recorded. So guess what? People generally behave better when they know they're being recorded, right?
Yeah.
And our camera also has a screen, unlike others, right? So there you go. It's just
Yeah.
and you can change the timer, of course, how often, but it does
Right.
that. The other thing we have is you can just press a button here. Let's say a cop stops you. There's an accident, and he says, "What's happened?" You're not going to be like going on, hey, onto this portal and this and that. You just here you press the button.
Recording from the previous 10 minutes will be sent to the registered phone and
Yeah.
email.
Guess what? It just sends you what happened in the last 10 minutes. It sends a whole video recording onto your phone. And by
Yeah.
the way, guys, another thing, there's no apps, nothing. Everything is managed by your phone. So it's connected, every device is managed to your phone. So we have lots and lots of features. We'd be obviously delighted to go over with anyone. But yeah, we built it around rideshare and the
Right.
specific around rideshare.
And what happens in case there's bad reception and things like that? What happens in that case?
Excellent question. We have an SD card, a memory card, right,
Yeah.
inside the device itself. So obviously, you're right. We cannot control the wireless network around the country. So
Yeah.
so there are dead zones and stuff like that. But what happens is it will automatically. By the way, it makes a copy before it uploads. It will automatically does that in a nanosecond. But if there is no connection or whatever, the connection is not adequate because it's heavy bandwidth intensive footage that you're uploading. It'll automatically store that in the device. As soon as the connection is reestablished, it'll automatically upload. Again, all these things will be invisible to you. And
Yeah.
that's one of the key things. We do not want driver to worry about managing a device and all these kind of things.
Yeah. I agree. And so I'm going to put up a couple of questions I highlighted. So one is, this seems like what if I-28, let's say, I need to restart my DisplayRide cam again? Well, it's not your cam. I think it's you're talking about your subscription. So is there a specific way of doing that, or should he reach out to support?
Yeah,
Or
to support, it's easier. We have live support, by the way. Unlike That's another thing. Unlike a lot of the companies, we have live support in California. You just call us, we'll help you out and take care of it.
Okay, so there's your answer for that. And one more. I would like to see a dash cam with a remote storage. So if someone swipes the dash cam, the data will be in the vehicle. Well, it doesn't have to be in the vehicle. In this case, it's in the cloud. So look, I mean, I know the answer to that. I'll let you answer it too. But there was a case in Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, this driver was murdered, mother of four. And the first thing the bad guys will do, okay, the first thing they see the dash cam, although they're dumb enough to do the crime with the dash cam recording. But in DisplayRide's case, your face is already plastered in the cloud. You can grab the camera, you can smash it, you can throw it, you can do whatever the heck you want with it. It's already too late for you as a criminal. So that answers that question for me anyway. But if there's something you want to add to it.
No, I think you're right. In fact, we encountered a rideshare driver in San Francisco who I think just stepped out to a 7-Eleven or something to grab a coffee or something. He had left his vehicle on, unfortunately, and somebody jumped the vehicle, carjacked it literally, and then of course they saw the device and then they just pulled it off. But like you said, that the person's face was already known. The cops immediately found out who the person was, and they kind of triangulated where there was. And so
Yeah. And so Sandra says, trying to buy the dash cam and it's impossible. No link to go to the store. Just go to the link is in the show notes. And you code RSG to get a discount, obviously. But the link is right in the show notes. So when you go to the YouTube page, click more, and then the link is there. But if not, then go to www.displayRide.com. It's pretty simple to do. You'll see all the pricing and everything else there. Well, thank you for coming on again. We appreciate it. I know there's a couple other deals you're working on, and we'll probably announce those, hopefully, fingers crossed, shortly. But yeah, I think, I mean, I've been using it. I'm very happy with it. I would highly recommend it, and I wouldn't drive without a dash cam if I was driving 2 hours, 20 hours, or 42 hours a week. It's just you need to have one. So with that said, thank you, sir. Thank you for coming on.
My pleasure. Thank you, Sergio. Appreciate it. And if anybody has any questions, they can always reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to go over the we have tons of features. So we built it again for rideshare. It'll resonate with you. We have thousands of drivers across the country using it. So please, thank you so much for the opportunity. Look forward to more such conversations.
Absolutely. Go shut the camera. All right. Have a good one now.
You too, sir. Bye.
All right. That was DisplayRide. I'll answer the questions that I can see. So put up all the questions you guys have. I don't know how many of you are here, so I'm going to run this solo. I'm going to run it as long as I can. However, since I promised you guys this was going to be completely interactive, if you guys want to come on, look, as long as you have good internet reception, and I will not boot you if I can hear you. So here's the StreamYard link right here, folks. Grab the link. Come on. We'll talk. The other thing is no apple juice today. I have to be in my best behavior. So we'll talk. We'll chat. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Oh, there he is. There he is. Right there. He's having a margarita and I'm working. Not quite fair, but it is what it is. Anyway, so let's go answer some questions. Sergio, which camera do you use currently? Because I know you have used Nexar. Do you use DisplayRide? I use both intermittently since they're both good cameras, right? Depends on your budget, but DisplayRide uploading to the cloud directly and I've installed both, and they're both relatively easy to install. The only thing is Nexar works off of your ODB. DisplayRide's power source can come from your cigarette lighter, so when you're using the ODB, you may have to wire it a little bit better, but other than that, they're both nice cameras. All right, let's get some questions. Hi, Houston, Texas here. I get a lot of Woken trying to get in my car seat, and no ride. Don't do it. Do not do it. You will be liable. If something, God forbid, happens, you will be liable. So forget, there's issues with obviously cancellations, right? So I would go cancel, not safe, something like that. When they give you the choice, you have to be the bad guy, because you literally are taking all the liability on you. Forget the parent who's a bad parent, who's willing to put their child's life in danger. Okay, let's not talk about that part. But if you have underage minors, do not put them in your car. There are a lot of drivers who are desperate enough to go do it. Don't do it, because if there's an accident, on God forbid, that teenager says, "Oh, he touched my leg" or whatever, you're toast. Your life is over, literally. And God forbid, if you get in a crash, little fender bender, nothing major, no insurance coverage, right? Uber covers you P1, P2, P3, they say. P1 being you're online waiting for a request, P2 being on your way to pick up passenger, P3 with a butt in the back seat. That $1 million policy is gone. There's none of that, none. So you will, seriously, they'll come after you personally. Your insurance company will not cover it, because according to them, you cannot be doing commercial business with a personal insurance policy. You're out in the cold. And God forbid, if you have a house to protect or some bank account or whatever, they're going to clean you up. They will definitely clean you up. Don't do it. Man, this chat's going fast, but I will catch up. I'll go backwards. How about that? So free dumb fighter, don't do it. Do not do it. Cancel and move on. Tailpipes. Currently using an Rexing R4 front view, rear view, inside the cab. Yeah, look, there are all good cameras, as long as it uploads to the cloud. I think for me, the ease of use is number one. Number two, it directly uploads to the cloud, and I don't have to futz around with SD cards. I saw some of the comments saying, I have a 5 terabyte laptop, this, that, SD card. I'm like, it holds the 30 days worth of information in the cloud, and 30 days is plenty. Now, if you do ask, they will go back a year for you. So it helps with the activations, man. It helps to have proof, because as we all know, right? What did we say? Innocent until proven guilty in this country. Well, in rideshare case, it's not like that. We have to prove ourselves innocent. It's a fact. Although the in-app appeal process has gotten much better, thanks to us, I'm pretty sure. And you still need evidence. And that's your evidence, man. Video don't lie. What was the name? It's in the show notes, but it's called DisplayRide. DisplayRide. RIDE. And the link is in the show notes. It should be. I put it there. Boss told me to do so. Yep, absolutely. You definitely do not want anything like that. Anything like that. Yeah, they do. They're desperados, man. They pick him up. Oh, the parent goes, well, the other driver picked, how many times that happened to me? It'll be like morning shift, Santa Monica. I'll pull up to a house, a 10-year-old shows up. I go, where's your mother? Where's your father? Oh, it's me. And then I go, no, you're not getting in my car by yourself. I need a parent, I need an adult with you. And they go like, yeah, but the other driver did it. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Do I look like the other driver to you? I don't care. You're going to give me a bad, first of all, don't start the ride. Unless you start the ride, they cannot rate you. Okay? Don't have a habit of swiping it over and starting the ride before they get in the car. They get in the car, put the seatbelt on, then I swipe. What are you going to miss? 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds of pay? Who cares? All I'm saying is, when you do cancel and say tailpipes, they cannot go in the app and complain about you, because there is no trip history for them as well. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, that's a good camera too. Look, as long as you have a camera, man, that's all I'm saying. But DisplayRide is pretty easy to do. There you go. See? Spoken like a true rideshare driver. You gotta have one. Even if you're driving on your own, even if you're not doing rideshare. Look, man, shit happens. Accidents happen. How are you going to prove it? Especially if it's not your fault. Right? He said, she said, there's no question about it. The other thing is, but sometimes actually what happens is that when it's recording, another accident will happen. They'll use your footage for that accident. It happened actually to me, maybe like 4 months ago. I was behind this car making a left turn. There was a truck on the left lane. There's 2 lanes going and coming. There was a truck on the left lane. This car was behind that truck. This knucklehead in front of me did not see it. They have the right of way. And he made it. He tried to make it. What the car on the right lane, where the truck had blocked the view, was going a lot faster, right, than the truck, and they had a head-on collision. I mean, like a bomb exploded. Well, all of it was recorded. Whose fault it is? It's right then and there. I actually waited for the cops and handed him the footage. That's what you have to do. Sometimes you record things that is not even related to you. Mike says, also in most states, if you get pulled over for whatever reason, if you have a child with no seat, yes, there's child seat or laws in a lot of countries. I mean, a lot of states, cities, you got to know your rules. Look, man, even if it's okay for that, which I doubt that there would be one, that you can put a child without a car seat in your car. Even if the law's allowed to happen, I wouldn't do it as a rideshare driver, right? As yourself, you're the parent. I don't know. You shouldn't be doing it anyway, but what about Uber Teen Rides? Well, Uber Teen Rides got canceled, disallowed in California. It had a lot to do with that. CPUC said to Uber that you cannot have anybody under the age of 18 in your car without adult supervision, because there are companies like Kid Kaboo, and there's another one that do trips for teenagers, kids, whatever, and all those drivers are fingerprinted, FBI background check, and drug tested. Well, why should there be a difference? Because Uber says our drivers are vetted, they're highly rated. Means nothing. So CPUC finally had come to Jesus moment, and then they said, nope, we're not going to allow you to do Uber Teen rides. So there is no Uber Teen in California, but other states are allowing you to do it. Look, I wouldn't do an Uber Teen ride. I wouldn't want a 14-year-old girl, boy, whatever, in my car at 1 and 2 in the morning. I just wouldn't. It happens. And because the teens can turn that trip into a pool trip, literally. They can go pick up other teenagers. And as a driver, you should, if you're doing Uber Teen, if you have it turned on and you receive a trip, that's the only person you should allow in the car, because it's on a family account. They have permission to do so. But if they say, oh, I'm going to at a stop, go pick up one of my friends, if that person is not 18, you should not put that person in your car. So there's a lot of gray area with Uber Teen trips. Some people do it. I will not do it. Will not do it. And Mike, uploaded to the crowd is a big deal. Yep, absolutely. Yep, it's a PIA for sure. Upload to the cloud, and then you're good to go. If there's an accident, if there's deactivation, you just get literally, it's one click. You get one click, you get a link with the video on your email, and you have your proof. It's as simple as that. I don't even have the time. If I had a dash cam that I had to take the SD card out, come upload it. Some people do it. I mean, I don't know. Like, okay, well, here's our Marco says 12. Yeah, it doesn't matter how big how many terabytes your storage is. If you don't mind, you don't mind. It's all good. But what happens is that a lot of people forget. A lot of people do not have an SD card big enough. It rewrites over itself. And that has happened to a lot of drivers that I have spoken to, right? They haven't figured it out. You probably have it optimized. They don't have it optimized. What they do is the card writes over itself, and then they lost the footage. Or sometimes something happens, it doesn't work, it gets corrupted, this and that. And then when they really need it the most, they don't have it. So, this kind of uploading to the cloud eliminates all of that possibilities, all of it. And same here. I also get too many entitled riders who refuse to. Yeah, well, there are seatbelt laws in California. You got to wear your seatbelt. In fact, Uber has done something decent in the app, and I have that turned on. The app also to the rider, once we're matched, when they're in the car, it literally talks and says, fasten your seatbelt. And I have turned that volume pretty high up. So me saying it maybe will piss off the rider, right? But Uber app is saying that may make things a little bit more palatable for the rider. And yeah, do that in the app. If you have it in the Uber app, you can toggle it on and say voice messages going out to the riders. About it, you want to delete the footage? I guess. I don't know. Yeah, definitely. And the other thing is with DisplayRide, the CMT, right? So the kids come back home, and then you're getting a report of how they drove. Were they super aggressive? Were they hard braking? Were they cornering harsh? At least as a parent, my daughter has a dash cam in her car. I mean, without a question. I think it's a must, man. It's a must. Our Marka emailed the lady footage from a dash cam when she got into an accident. Possibly, but you will be witnesses for other accidents if you have a dash cam running, for sure. Keep the questions coming. I'm here as long as I can be. With DisplayRide, it's 30 days. Then it starts over again. But then they do keep it. If you do request it, they can go back a year and get it for you. But automatic is 30 days. And at the end of each day, you will get an email giving you a list of all the trips you did with links to each trip. So if you want to watch the video of it, then you can do it. I got a subpoena because of my dash cam. Yep, absolutely. I gave it to the cops. I don't know. The accident was pretty bad. I don't think anybody got hurt, but cars were smashed. And right then and there, because I don't know. I don't know whose fault that would be. It's just like a really peculiar situation. I was worried more about because the other car coming down, going east to west, was speeding. I think they were speeding. They probably were going a lot faster than that truck, which was going probably 35, 40. This thing was flying. And the person in front of me who was making the left did not see that. He was blinded by the big truck, but this guy was flying. And as soon as she would clear the truck, that she wasn't like doing anything wrong. She made the left, and this car out of the blue just absolutely head on. And I was actually more worried that on that accident, maybe they'll spin into me or something, but she had already cleared the intersection, was making left. It was a big accident, but cars were definitely gone, both cars. So I don't know. It's probably going to be his fault because he was probably speeding, although he has the right of way. I don't know. That's kind of a iffy situation, actually. Yeah. Yeah, you can save it. You can do that. Look, a lot of drivers are not disciplined. You just drove 2 hours, bro. 2 hours, 12 hours. You're tired. You go, yeah, I'll do it the next day, and then by mistake you start the car. You don't upload it. You have to be really, really disciplined person to every day to take the SD card and then to put it in the thing and go back and make sure it's not corrupted and all these things. The less moving parts for me, the better. That's why we have technology. I deny it, and then well, it's riders for you because that's what has happened to rideshare, right? It's Walmart, man. Walmart of transportation. A lot of these riders have wine taste with a beer budget, and they're entitled and they think they own the car. That's why you have to set your own rules. My rules, my car, my rules. Not being an a-hole, by the way. Okay, I'm trying to give you service. But if you're an a-hole, I'm going to be an a-hole. So, you treat me with respect. We have 20 minutes in the car. You can flip your phone, do whatever the heck you're doing. You can't eat in my car. You cannot drink in my car unless it's a bottle. You can definitely not come in with a red cup in my car. You cannot vape in my car. You cannot smoke in my car. These are the rules. I mean, I don't think they're much to ask. And you don't like it? GTFO. You're going to give me 1 star? Okay, we're going to exchange 1 stars. Out of 500 trips that I get rated on, it's going to affect me maybe 1/10 until that 500 trips comes around and it gets negated. And a lot of drivers, pay a lot of attention to their ratings. I have a 496 after over 10,000 trips. I honestly, I would say 85% of people, riders getting in my car, have lower rating than me. So I'm like, and you should pay attention to La India Maria. You should pay attention to your rider's ratings. You should set a mental threshold for it. Like mine is 460. With the exception of airports, because I go to LAX. When I pick up at LAX, pretty much every rider that I pick up that's below 460 is an East Coaster. East Coast drivers, New York, Philadelphia, Jersey, they hammer these riders, man. And those are the most genuine, nicest people, and they tip. So I will pick up, that's the only exception I will make. I'll pick up 460 or less at the airports. East Coasters, nice people, but they get hammered by the East Coast drivers. But set your own rules. Set your own safety rules. Don't let them jump in your car. Put the window a third of the way down so they cannot get in and open it. And if they have bad intentions and things like that, confirm who they are. Especially if you're working bar hours. Man, there's 50 people looking for Ubers and Lyfts. And they're drunk, mostly. They're going to jump in your car. They're not paying attention to the license plate. They're not doing anything like that. You just need to, have your guardrail up, and you're going to go, hey, because that's the worst thing you can do as a driver, by the way. It has happened to me once. That's the worst thing you can do as a driver. Pick up the wrong passenger, and halfway there you figure out that is not your passenger. It's horrible. Okay, that's a little too much overkill now. Yeah, I mean, you need to read the room, and when they come in your car, I always, tell them good morning if it's morning, good evening if it's good evening, goodbye, have a good day, great day, have fun at the bar or whatever. You got to do that exchange, and then after that, you read the room. I mean, if they walk in and already the vibe is not there and vibe is negative and they're a-holes, just stay quiet. Don't respond. I mean, you're counting the clock. You're looking at it. Oh, I got 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes to get this idiot out of my car. But they are out there. They are out there. They're idiots out there. And they will not hesitate to report you as unsafe or drunk or something to get their $6 back. And that's rideshare for you. There's not much you can do about it. And that's why you need a dash cam. Because they report you as in drunk. Immediately you will be booted off at least you'll be suspended, right? You go in-app appeal. By the time you do this, by the time you do that, it's literally 48, 72 hours. You just lost income because some idiot fraudulently reported you. Well, you have the evidence right then and there. You go in-app appeal, upload the video, and which chip. Most drivers know which chip is bad, unless you're such a horrible driver that you have no clue, and you're not, you get dinged all the time. But I still have teen rides on my app. I drive at night, so I don't get too many, and usually it's kids leaving work. Yeah, potentially. But again, there's a big difference. There's a big distinction between Uber Teen and youngsters, teenagers and Uber will allow them to create accounts. Somehow they slip through. This verification stuff is BS. Somehow these teenagers will slip through, and they'll have their own account with a prepaid card or whatever. Okay. there's a difference between Uber Teen and a teenager opening an Uber account, ordering a trip. You need to be able to differentiate that by the ping that comes in. It comes in as Uber Teen. Uber Teen means they have the parents or the family has created a family account and have put the teen on that Uber Teen account, besides their individual accounts, if they do have so. So you'll know the difference between, on the ping screen when it's coming in. I was going to ask, my state see us as taxi and we don't need child seats for kids over 4 in the back seat. Okay, it's as long as you know your rules of engagement, you know your rules of the state, then yeah. As long as you know your rules, that's all. That's all there is to it. Thank God, no teen. Yeah, well, in California, no teen. Okay, anybody want to come on? Come on now. Don't be shy. I'm going to post the link again because it's got buried probably. I want some of you to come on. Let's just do like a little not interview, but you guys can talk about anything you want to talk about. I just posted the link. Takers tokens. Okay. Lyft charged me for 2 tickets 2 months after the fact. Lyft charged you for tickets? What do you mean Lyft charged you? I mean, you had a background check and they were in your background check or they were in your record. How can Lyft charge you with 2 tickets? You're talking about a background check through Checker or some other one that they run? I'm assuming that's what you're asking. That's what I'm assuming you're asking. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay, that's cool. You should. There's an opt-out if you go to the preferences and those boxes, and on the bottom, it'll say Uber Teen and there'll be a toggle switch. Unless they change it. I don't know what city you're driving, but you should have the option to opt out. It's clearly indicated that you should have that option. Okay. Yeah, you have to opt in or opt out. Everybody's correcting from New Jersey. Everybody's correcting each other now. Do you know who I can contact for wrongful deactivation for Lyft? I've appealed, but they just said it. No. Once you appeal and they deny you, you're pretty much done. And look, man, although the appeals process is better within the app last year or so, still doesn't give you any satisfaction. That's why we tell everyone, drive for both apps. At least you have something else to fall back on. Wrongful deactivation, according to, I don't know the case, so, but what, I don't know why you were deactivated for, but there's not much I can do. I'm powerless when it comes to deactivations. I can't do it. I get 25, 30 emails a week. Serge, I got deactivated. First question I ask him is, do you have dash cam footage? They go, no. Well, okay. Not that if they did, I can do something about it. But I do have a relationship with these companies, but not to the point of getting people reactivated. Look, there are some services out there that may work out. The other thing you can do, by the way, if you get denied after the appeal, you can literally do this yourself. You don't have to do anything else. You can take them to small claims court in your state with the maximums of your state for unjust termination and loss of income. So I don't know what state you're in, but you can do that. Just file the paperwork and serve Lyft with papers. Most of the time they won't show up and you'll get a judgment. The problem is collecting, right? If your state minimum or maximum is 15 grand, let's say, yeah, you get a judgment of 15 grand. Try to collect is the very, very difficult thing to do. But they should tell you why they, once the in-app appeal happens, I know for a fact that from the in-app appeal, it goes to Lyft safety team. There's a human looking at it. Do you have dash cam footage? Did you send them your dash cam footage? Do you know what trip it was? All these things. I would, keep at it until you get a final no. Question from Michael. I've been watching your content for a good minute and I can just never commit to rideshare. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. It's not for everyone. I'm comfortable with people being in my car, but I have so much agility. I feel like I outweigh the pace of Uber to hit my daily amount. Yeah, you should come on, grab the link. We can talk about it. Outweigh the pace of Uber to hit my daily amount, but I'm out until average 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. What do you suggest I can start doing? It more like tips. Okay, so you're saying you cannot commit to rideshare, but you're saying you're driving from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Is that what I'm getting? Have you tried deliveries? Not that they're any better, but there'll be more tips in deliveries. And what do you mean I have so much agility? Rephrase your question. Just make it a little clearer, please. Or grab the link and come on. Okay. Oh, that's good to know. Okay. Lyft has added share to the app, but does not explain it at all. Well, share trips is so it comes in as Lyft share as opposed to Lyft standard. And all you have to do is once you accept one, on your way to the destination of that passenger, the Lyft algorithm may, I'm not saying will, may match you with another person. In California, we don't have shared trips with the exception of USC downtown, but they'll match you with a different person. And then now, unfortunately, though, the first person that's in your car may have just ordered it without looking at it, without knowing it's a shared trip, right? They may think they're just going to go point A to point B directly. And then the other person will get in, or you'll just veer off because now you're on your way to pick up the other person. And then the person that's in your car will say, well, where are you going? I'm like, yeah, we have to go pick up another person. They go like, oh, I'm going to be late. I'm like, well, you shouldn't order the shared trip then. So that puts you in kind of an awkward situation. But you have to be able to explain that to them, that you ordered the shared trip and then now we have to go pick up the second passenger. And that string, by the way, could go on, 1, 2, 3, it could go on for a while. So my suggestion for that is if you accept it by mistake and you're doing the trip, swipe up and go no more new trips, it'll shut it down, right? Same thing in Uber's case. Shared trips, you just take the person in the car, swipe up, although you are going to get some hate mail from Uber to you saying that, oh, it seems like you're not accepting any more shared trips once you take the first passenger on. Well, that's the trick, to shut it down. But that's how shared trips work. Are you asking me that question? I do a lot of things, man. I consult with a lot of, so my background is finance, and I know finance 10x more than rideshare. I do enjoy rideshare, very part-time basis. Nowadays, money is not there. If I'm going to put miles on my car, it's got to be worth it. I treat it as a business, even if I do 10 trips a week. I think rideshare, as we know it, is on its way out, and I'm working on a couple different things for the driver community to, autonomous vehicles are coming, folks, like it or not. They are here, and all they're going to do is just going to be more and more in numbers. So let me put a plug for our newsletter. Go to www.therideshareguy.com and subscribe to the newsletter. I wrote a wonderful article last month about how drivers can pivot, because a lot of you are stuck in this hamster wheel, and you just don't know how to get out of it. Well, there is another world outside rideshare, folks. And depending on your age and your education level, So shameless plug for my finance channel. I have a finance channel that for free, literally free. No, you can go subscribe and learn a lot about investing, learn a lot about retirement, learn a lot about trading and options and derivatives and equities and things like that. I'm just trying to pay it forward with the other channel, trying to, have drivers understand that there is another world out there, and rideshare is not be all end all, but for a lot of people it is. And when I talk to a lot of Austin drivers now, even with Honda cars, Waymos, and now Tesla is testing robocabs, even with a safety driver, they're all complaining earnings are down 40-50%. Although there's seasonality, they're all complaining in Austin that their earnings are getting killed. Well, it's coming. It's here. Automation is here, folks. And at least in every major city, I'm not saying in rural areas that much, but in every major city, this is coming your way. And if you keep looking at the end of the tunnel, you see the light. That light is a train coming at you. You guys need to understand and pivot and adjust and start doing something different, because this is going to come to an end. If not now, in 2 years. If not now, in 5 years. If you guys are complaining about low income now, you put 1,000 Teslas in your city, zipping around and doing trips, or Waymos. I mean, the growth is not there anymore, right? The demand is going to get sucked by these other cars, and you're just going to be just sitting there and waiting for trips, and whatever they send you is probably going to be garbage anyway. So a lot of people, unfortunately, do not pay attention to their future. They're just in this rut, and they just turn the app on and go, easy money. Well, party's coming to an end. I would highly, highly recommend you guys start figuring out what to do outside rideshare. The Uber voice reminder to riders for seatbelt security works well for me. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just talked about that 100%. If they don't listen to you, and they'll listen to the app, because it's played on their own app as well, unless they turn the app off already. Because most riders, they'll order the trip, they don't even look at it. That's why you don't get tipped, by the way, because they just forget about you, or doing something else. They turn the Uber app off. They don't want to watch themselves, They watch you come to them, right, on the app, but once they get in the car, you start the trip, they're on their social media or doing whatever else they're doing. But that definitely works. I highly recommend that. Highly recommend that. Carl Stokes, did anyone else get Uber update where it changes the way it looks when you open the app, along with messaging saying their cost of business have gone up? Yeah, well, they do send those messages. We just talked about it with Abdul from DisplayRide. They send saying that I have a rider account as well as a driver account, obviously. They send messages in there. Yeah, in California, especially due to high commercial insurance rates, the fares have gone up. They blame that. I'm not buying that. I think they're so wishy-washy when it comes to the commercial insurance charge on the app that same length trip sometimes is $10, another time is like $20. I'm like, how did that work out? It's not by miles, it's not by minutes. Nobody understands why, how, when. I don't know. Is it a profit center for them? I cannot prove it. But it could be a profit center for them. And look, driver's take versus Uber's take is quite different when it comes to take rates specifically, right? So the driver says rider paid 100, Uber paid me 50, Uber's take rate is 50%. I get it. That's straight math. That's the way I look at it. Uber says, no, it doesn't work like that. So the rider paid 100. We charged the rider 100. Well, $30 of that 100 went to commercial insurance, city taxes, airport fees if you're dropping or picking up at airports, all these things. Then we paid you 50. That 50 that you guys think is 50% Uber is taking. We paid you 50. Well, we're left with $18. That $18 is the service fee, is our actual take rate. I mean, there's many ways of looking at that. I kind of go with simple math. The rider paid 100, Uber took 50, because we don't know if that $30 commercial insurance is not going to Uber's pocket. Maybe Uber paid $5 for commercial insurance on that trip. but they're keeping the rest. I can't prove it. I have been trying to. If you guys can prove it, send me email, Sergio at rideshareguy.com. Oh, FYI, if you guys want to be on Behind the Wheel, BTW, send me an email with a short paragraph that you want to get interviewed, and we'll put you on the channel. Again, Sergio at rideshareguy.com. Ooh, I missed that one. Let's see. Where are we? On the chat. I gotta catch up. Shit. Oi. So many messages I have to catch up. If I do this one by one, we're gonna be here for like 3 hours. Well, I don't care. I don't mind. I got nothing else to do. Did I miss all these messages? No, I didn't. What? Okay, hold on, folks. Hold on. I did not miss all these messages. Did I really? I did. The chat's flying, so I don't know. I want to try to answer all of these, so hold on a second. Okay. What is happening? Where did these messages come from? No, okay, so did I really miss all these? I don't think I did. Well, I guess I did, man. Okay, I'm just gonna start here. Okay, go fast. Sergio, pin or no pin? Definitely pin. Love the pin. Love the pin. Eliminates a lot of headaches. I wonder how driverless cars will handle people trying to add stops. Easily. It's just like you. Have you been in one? Try one. It drives pretty good. Oh, that's how far back I am. That's the StreamYard link. Holy shit. Well, you used to see it. You used to, they used to be able to leave comments, positive or negative. Now you can't see the positives either. I have like a whole bunch of badges and things like that, and they took it away for some reason, which I think it's a horrible idea. If a rider is enjoying your company and gives you like a good comment, another rider will read that. Maybe chances of tipping is higher, but Uber took it off and Lyft took it off, and you just don't see those comments anymore. I don't know why. Okay, Sergio, I had one rider saying that above 19-year-old. Bullshit. Go tell them bullshit. Everybody needs to wear seatbelt in California. Bullshit. That's the law. I know. I don't know. Sure. I don't know why, but go for it. Sergio at rideshareguy.com. Sergio, I didn't miss it. I think I talked about it. Yeah, I look, my living comes from my trading stocks, trading equities, trading options, investing, right? You got to do that. Because look, I have a lot of content on my finance channel. It's at Sergio Avedian. You can go check it out. I talk a lot about the government gaslighting, inflation. They're all bullshitting you guys, okay? They're all gaslighting you guys. They go, oh, inflation is 2%. My ass it is. It's like 7% a year. You're losing 7% buying power every single year, if not more. Look at your $100 bill. It was the same $100 bill 10 years ago. How much is that worth? What's its buying power today? So don't be fooled. And you're not getting paid 7% a year more by Uber and Lyft. That's why you guys need to start pivoting and looking at other things. This is not it. This is not the way. As a rideshare channel, I shouldn't be saying that, but I see the writing on the wall. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't take anybody's word for sure. Uber destination feature is a waste of time. Sometimes it is. I have a video on the channel. Please go check it out. It's under Sergio's Diaries. I explain how to correctly set the DF. A lot of people use DF to go home. I don't use it to go home. I use it to keep me in the hot zone if I'm in a surge area. But there is all the explanation is there. Go check that video out. What are the odds you're going to hit like a lot of drivers save it. Like you have minimum of 4. If you're higher tier driver, you have more. 2 on Lyft, 2 on Uber. Use them all. Burn them all. You have another for the next 24 hours. Use it to your advantage as opposed to trying to hit the bullseye and go home. What are the odds your neighbor is going home and they're gonna order and chip from you, and you're gonna get matched and you're gonna go home. If you're gonna use it to go home, Use DF sensibly. Always put 5-8 miles past your house so you give the algorithm a wider range to get you to the house. Don't just select your house for the final destination. A lot of people use DF incorrectly. There's 2 DFs. There's one with a timer. There's one, where you can increase the time on it, arrive now or arrive later kind of a thing. But you guys go check that video out. Search it on the channel. It's there. It's a good video. I explain all this stuff. I reported a rider called 2 hours after asking. Bro. No. Jesus. No. This is a long one. Aiden Alwan. I live in state of New Hampshire. Uber and Lyft used to be good if we do cherry picking. However, at least in we had a flood of drivers coming. Yeah. I don't know why. The Massachusetts has like amazing, well, not amazing, but they have the best deal going actually. They must be renting. Okay. Yeah. The more drivers there are, why does Uber and Lyft have to pay you more? Why? Yeah, New Jersey slow. Maybe there's seasonality going on there. I don't know, but most places where they have, we have data actually getting data from Gridwise. Most places that have Waymos and Teslas testing now, the drivers are complaining about it. Just going to Amazon Flex, well, it's still $20, $25, bro. You need to make more money. That's not good enough. Well, in my book anyway, Learn something, bro. Learn a trade or do something if you can, if you're able to. You look like a young guy. Do you think requiring riders to enter a PIN before their trips? No. Well, yeah. I request a PIN every time. As a driver, you can through the Uber app now. Right? Number one. Number two, it kind of eliminates this awkward exchange. Like, oh, what's your name? And what's this? And what's that? I'm like, bro, just give me the PIN. And then we're on our way. It eliminates the pickup of the wrong passenger, right? Safety of the driver, safety of the rider. I love the PIN. Adele says, as a San Francisco taxi driver, we're not required to have a car seat for kids, but at the end, it's your call. Really? In San Francisco? There has to be a weight limit, though. There has to be a weight limit, Adele. We're in California. I know I couldn't put my kids until they were like 40 or 50 pounds without a car seat in the car. There is a weight limit, not an age limit, but there is a weight limit. I know that for a fact. Is there a booster and then they move to a booster from a car seat? Butter says, I did read the California law. There is no specific stated that the law about 19. There's no bullshit. That's bullshit. 19-year-old not to wear seatbelt. That has nothing to do with anything. There's no law like that. There's no law like that. They're just bullshitting you. There's no law like that. Oh, I'm 19. I don't have to wear a seatbelt. I'm like, no, you have to wear a seatbelt. You're an adult, actually. You should be wearing a seatbelt. Once I entered the PIN, the ride is already accepted, so I'm wondering if it's better to keep the PIN feature on. I would recommend keeping it on. Well, if you don't sleep with passengers, that's why you have an ex-husband. My ex-husband, I don't know, I'm just being joking, I'm facetious. My ex-husband got deactivated for 1 ticket with 3 violations that was dismissed by a judge, but it stays in the record somehow. Even if it's dismissed, if it's still on the record, if the record is not expunged, they pick up, you can't sue. You can't do anything. You can take him to small claims court. Like I said to other person, you can go file the paperwork and do it. It costs you, I don't know, $50 or something, whatever, just to file the paperwork. Yeah, Share is a freaking headache. Although in my day, Share with Surge was really, really good. Adele says, Uber stopped giving addresses and replaced it with business names like Starbucks or bus stop. Well, they kind of give you the cross street, right? They don't give you the exact. I don't think that, and very rarely, I think they give you the exact address. Once you start the trip, you'll know exact address, obviously, but it's pretty close, though. That's the other reason that they may be doing that, for shaving time and distance. They go like, oh, it's here, and then you just turn it on. Every trip you're losing half a mile driving extra. You know what I mean? Steelhouse Soundnautic got a big money 3-stop shared trip for 3 passengers. All had 2 people with them. Explaining share and denying them a ride was waste of time. Skip shared now or hit break button right away. Yes, sir. That's what you're supposed to do. Anybody coming on? You guys are not going to come on, huh? You guys are going to make me do this by myself? Shameful. I've seen Uber Advantage rides for a rate equal to 60. Yeah. Well, that we're going to test that Advantage. So I'm in LA. I just got Advantage. We're going to test that. But then what Uber is doing, I have it from very reliable sources, that Uber cuts the fares by 5% before they introduce Advantage versus Standard in a state or a city. And then they make it look like they're paying you 5% more. Same old bullshit shenanigans. Many some book share to save money. Some book share to save money, but not knowing you might have to go pick up another rider. Or they expect you to drive. Well, a lot of riders order it because it's the cheapest option. And then they don't even know it's shared, that they don't even know. And especially if it's a time-sensitive destination that they're going to. And then you get out of the way, and then they go like, where are you going? I'm like, well, I got to go pick up somebody else. They go, well, oh, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah, I can. You ordered shared. STFU and sit down. Uber takeout spot number 1. Okay, I saw videos of those self-driving vehicles crashing, and that's one. They are safer than humans, guaranteed. They are, although my partner hates Waymos, they are safer than humans for sure. For the miles that they have driven. Number 1, they don't get sleepy, right? They don't do boneheaded shit. They don't try to run lights. They come to full stops at every stop sign. All the things we don't do. I've been in 7 or 8 of them so far. I'm not saying this or that. They're safer. But we'll see. What happens if there's like thousands of them on the street? Are they going to be as safe? We'll see. There's issues with that business as well, but it's coming. You guys need to wake up. Yeah, if you want to keep driving, bro, the rest of your life, sure. If that's the only thing you know how to do, then definitely become a private driver. Then if you have the car, if you have the, business license, not business license, but commercial insurance and licensing, absolutely. Why go slave for Uber and Lyft? Go get your own book. You'll make more money, less trips, less miles, less wear and tear on your body and your car. But again, it's driving. I don't know. But definitely, if anybody has a choice. Evan says they don't want drivers. The dispatch AI would prefer. Yes, that's what's happening in Austin. They have a deal with Waymo, and they're feeding all the sweetheart trips to Waymos. And the algo is set up that way. Even with 100 cars, look, a lot of drivers I talk to in Austin, they're complaining about it. They're saying business is down. Granted, seasonality, it's hot, whatever, this and that. But I've compared earnings going back a year, 2 years, summer to summer. Yes, there's a drop because of seasonality, but when Waymo showed up, the drop accelerated. Yeah. Where is your email? My email, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. Mustafa, thanks, Serge. Been 2 years warning about Robotaxi. Finally, you guys acknowledge it. Not really. Not at all. We've been talking about it over a year and a half now. And what are you doing about it? Okay. You diagnosed it before us. What are you doing about it? Are you quitting rideshare? Are you putting your own investment fund together with friends to go buy 10 of these robocabs where Tesla brings it out for 30 grand so it can earn you some passive income while you're sleeping? What are you doing about it? Talk is cheap. Gotta do something about it, man. Gotta do something about it. Well, I'm working on that, so I will let you guys know soon, hopefully. The new UI sucks. So much finger movement to this. What are we talking about? Uber app? Gig you? Yeah, don't be negative, okay? Yeah, economy is not what the government says. Granted, they gaslight everyone. You know, they go, oh, unemployment is great, inflation is great, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, bullshit. It's all bullshit. That's why I have created the finance channel. At least I can voice my opinion because I know that stuff. I know finance or macroeconomy a million times more than I know rideshare. Rideshare is boring to a point, honestly. It's just static. Just point A, point B. Uber F this, Uber F that. I'm like, 8 million people are still driving. I wrote another article about that last month. Go check it out. It's on the newsletter. I said, if it's so bad, why are 8 million people still driving? Well, it's the economy, stupid. They have to do it. And bills are due. Bills don't pay themselves. And companies know that, and they exploit drivers and riders, and they exploit everyone, and that's what happens. Asking to leave a 5-star rating, and that it helps to get me tips. Yeah, no, it works. Look, man, if you have a clean car, your odds are higher. If you're a decent driver, not crazy driver, your odds are higher. But then numbers are numbers. Only 15 to 20% of Uber riders tip. If somebody's going to tip, you're going to tip. If they're not going to tip, you're not going to get a tip. Period. Doesn't matter if you give them a foot massage, they're not going to tip. There you go. That's another one. I have 2 kids. I think about that every day. How about all these truck drivers when autonomous trucks show up? There's hundreds of thousands, millions of people driving trucks. What's going to happen to those people? You know, rideshare drivers are rideshare drivers. How about truckers that supply the supply chain, right? What are they going to do? They've been doing this for forever. It's coming, folks. AI is going to replace every single entry-level job. All those Starbucks baristas, gone. Because there'll be a robot there doing the perfect coffee, not calling sick, not wanting to unionize, just work 24 hours a day. It's coming. I mean, and you guys can ask me, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm investing. I'm investing in companies that run AI and doing this and doing that. And again, you're going to say, oh, well, I don't have any money. I'm like, yeah, you need to have money to do these things, obviously. But even if you invest $50 a month or whatever you can do, put it away, as opposed to going and buying Starbucks for $7. Go put it in an index fund or something. And DCA, dollar cost average, you will be very surprised the power of compounding. You will be extremely surprised how powerful compounding is. There's no good jobs. There hasn't been good jobs for a while, and AI is going to be the last killer. It's going to replace everyone, right? Every entry-level job, most white-collar jobs, most blue-collar jobs for sure. So that's why I told my son, my daughter is in college. She's fine. She's going to study biotech or whatever. But my son's in high school. I told him, screw college. Screw college. What college? Go learn something that AI cannot do yet. What is that? Do something with your hands. Be a plumber, be an electrician, be a roofer, be an air conditioning contractor, whatever. Survive. That's what you have to do. And most of us can't do that anyway, obviously. But if you're young enough, don't get stuck in rideshare, bro. Go learn a trade. Do something with your hands. And when all this happens, all these jobs are gone, 2 things are possible. Right? A revolution, right? Or UBI. What is UBI? Universal Basic Income. Because how are we going to earn money? Not everybody can go retrain themselves, all these truckers, to write code, for God's sakes. Well, even code, AI is going to write code. So all I'm telling you guys is start thinking ahead. Don't be comfortable with where you are. Don't be comfortable with what you're doing. Because we get in a rut. We turn the app on. We make some money. We complain, this, do that. Sorry, was on a ride. Okay, so no dash cam. There you go. I was in an accident, okay? Guy said deactivated. Well, if you're in an accident, first of all, they don't deactivate you. Lyft app will suspend you first because they don't know what kind of shape your car in. They'll ask pictures of your car, if it's drivable or not for safety reasons. So you may be going through something like that. I don't think that's a deactivation. That's a suspension. But why not have a dash cam? Gotta have a dash cam. Okay. Well, if that 30, because first of all, I think people pay too much attention to what the rider is paying these days. Okay, so as a good friend of the channel, he said the circle of influence, circle of control. Do you have any control over what Uber charges? No. You can complain until you're blue in the face. What good is it? All it does is irritate you. Now, you just make sure that 30, though, for that job, the rider is the rider. Rider is going to pay whatever they're going to pay. Now, they'll complain. They'll go to Lyft. They'll look for another way. You can create private rides out of that, all kinds of stuff, okay? Friends and family, good shit. But is that 30 enough for you to do that specific job, irregardless of what the rider paid? You guys need to stop looking at that. I mean, I'm telling you guys, because all it does is piss you off. Look, what did Uber do? I'm like, Uber didn't do shit. Oh, Uber burned $35 billion to create a marketplace that you can wake up at 3 in the morning, turn your app on, and there is a request for you. You guys have to think a little differently. Forget about what Uber charges the rider. That's the rider's problem. But if they're paying you only 30, is that 30 good enough for you to be profitable? If it's not, then you have a right to complain. Otherwise, no. Food Loop from Austin? No. Never heard of it. Okay, our market says the economy is good right now. Okay. Is good or isn't good? Okay. I'm glad you think it's good. I'm okay with Audible of separating legitimate third-party fees. Okay. I'm not saying it is your problem. He said, Mike Smith says, I'm okay with Uber Lyft separating legitimate third-party fees. Absolutely. But their insurance is not your problem. Yeah, absolutely not. But they're complaining that it's going higher. You either believe that or you don't believe that. And again, what I believe to be the take rate is if the rider paid 100 and you got paid 50, Uber took 50%, including commercial insurance. That's the way I calculate take rate. Uber disagrees with that. I am sorry. I'm trying to catch up. I don't do this. And now that I've experienced this so far behind, then I may not do this again because I'm trying to answer literally every single comment. It's not easy to do. Well, if I don't do it, then you guys will complain, oh, you didn't read my comment. I'm like, see what I mean? Driver community, dealing with the right driver community, constant complaining. We need new law where it should be simplified. Uber take and driver take. Nope, not going to happen. They're not going to do that. They're just not going to do that. It's as simple as that. I will be deactivated and appealed. Didn't get an email. I don't think you're deactivated. If it's happened because of an accident, I think you're suspended, and they will tell you, send us pictures of your car and this and that. If not, then there's another reason they deactivated you. So I'm going to go read these comments here as opposed to putting them up. Am I really 20 to 30 minutes behind? Okay, I'm going to do this another half hour. That's about it. Why cargo vans work? Yes, it's annoying. Okay. Yeah, but then we're also doing a podcast at the same time we're doing a live stream, and a lot of people are listening. So Evan Barr says this was the weakest tourist season in Charleston. Yeah, well, we had a good friend that moved from Charleston to Denver. We'll see how it's doing. Okay. This is the wrong channel to ask me that. I know you asked me that before. I said email me at sergio@sergioavadian.com. That's my finance channel's email address. I have been accumulating Bitcoin all year, but I first bought Bitcoin in 2021. I think Bitcoin is, again, not financial or trading advice or investment advice. Bitcoin is the only asset that can save your ass from debasing of the currency. So now you answered because I know you complain quite a bit. There you go. Wonderful. I'm doing something right now in case RS Rideshare isn't. It's not. You're basically turning your car's an ATM machine into cash to pay bills. I'm studying automotive now. Whatever that means, great. Good luck. Congratulations. Everybody stop. Yeah, we don't do these, and that's why I don't know the etiquette of doing this shit. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to skip some now. Okay, I'll just read it and put up what I think is appropriate. PIN has been beneficial for me. All the writers I have, a lot of them ask why, but explaining it correctly, absolutely, 100%. I didn't say you did. No, I didn't think. Okay. Call through the app. Yeah, that's what was it. Lyft will give you somehow. I don't know. They shouldn't be able to do that either. Both ways. You shouldn't be able to call them, and they shouldn't be able to call you once the trip is done. It should be like Mission Impossible. Erase all the information. There you go. Yasir says, after 10 years, I got my TCP, not TCB, my black SUV. I'm running head to the road. Good luck. Good luck. That's pretty competitive too, but at least you're gonna make more money. You're gonna gross more money. You're gonna have longer hours though. You have to be on call, pretty much. Good question. I didn't. So maybe some of you know the story. I was researching about a book in 2015, The Effects of Algorithms on Humans, and look where we are today. And I used to, a friend of mine said, there's this Uber thing. Why don't you go do it? And I think they use algorithms. And I'm like, what the fuck is Uber? And they go like, oh, I think you drive drunks around. I'm like, I don't know about that. So, but once I got in it, I discovered that there's a lot of layers to do this properly. And there was this channel or blog, newsletter called the Rideshare Guy. And then they would write articles. I would read their articles and like, I'm going to learn something. And then they were all like Kool-Aid drinkers. I go like, this is all incorrect. So what I did first when I started, driving, and once I decided to do rideshare, is I went into up.net or Facebook. I got me 3 LA drivers, veterans. And they all happen to be Armenian too. I bought them lunch for a month. I said, you need to tell me every single fucking trick about this thing, right? Because I'm not going to do this half-ass. And then Harry got a hold of it. I used to heckle all these writers on his channel. I'd be like, you guys are wrong. You guys are ants. You guys don't know what you're doing. And then one day, Harry's in LA too. He goes, let me buy you lunch. And he goes, I want you to write for me. And I'm going like, bullshit. I'm not sleeping with the enemy. I'm not going to do that. And but sure enough, I love writing. And then I started writing for the Rideshare Guy. That's how it started. But finance is always finance. It's never going to leave my money. That's my pay the bills in LA. It's expensive, bro. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Hawaiians are going to do guns. Yeah. What do I think about medical transportation? You mean through Uber and Lyft? Or carrying organs and, or stuff like that? I mean, I would rather not. There is decent money on doing that, medical transport. I would rather not deal with sick people though in my car. Personally speaking, I don't know about everybody else. See, this is good. You guys are all opening up. Exactly. You just grab the goddamn link and show up. We can talk about this as opposed to me clicking through it. What the F? I'm going to do a marathon session today. Fuck it. I'm going to put a hard stop though, guys. It's been an hour and a half. Okay, here's the link. I want to jump all the way to the end and then come back. Where's the link? Frick. Where is the link? Am I really that far back? I don't. Okay, here's the link. Here's the link. Come on, grab it. Okay, I'll go backwards now. Can I? Bro, you can't even spell. How are you going to entertain the crowd if you can't even spell? Uber Connect, quick. Uber Connect. Drug mule. The hell, man. What are you guys talking about? You guys got to think a little bigger, man. All this is about delivery, drive, do this, do that. Just do something else. Seriously, legitimately. Spit? Okay, okay, this one. Spit what? I'm not sure. Okay, Porfirio team never quit. Okay, listen, don't spam the goddamn board. Okay. Okay, so I'm catching up. I did the chauffeur stuff, and after Uber and Lyft came on, business got slow and also a lot of competition. Yeah. Just because you think you're going to get TCP and black car, costs are higher, doesn't mean you're going to swim in cash. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes time to create a private business. It does. There you go. That's more like it. Uber is a hobby. There you go. Let's say, you know what, Uber, you know how Uber started, folks? They said, put your side hustle on. And that's what Uber is, side hustle. Oh, Mohammed is here. Damn. My favorite driver from Michigan. Okay, give us some ideas. Economies might suck. Okay, why don't we interview on Behind the Wheel? Email me, Sergio at rideshareguy.com. You can still make great money. Okay, what does that mean? Let's not be vague about it. Tell us how you're doing it. Okay, there we go. What city are you in, Josh? I'm making more than I was a year ago. Okay, can you guys say yes or no in the chat for that? Any of you making more than a year ago on Uber or Lyft? Uber is a billion-dollar company. Uber is not a billion-dollar company. Uber is $185 billion company. I don't see it going anywhere. I don't see it going anywhere either. And their stocks are better than Lyft. I don't know about that. All I know is when upfront fares came, Uber was $23 a share. Today it's $90 a share. Wouldn't you like to have bought some Uber at 23 bucks 2.5 years ago? Okay, now you're just talking about personal shit. I'm not doing that. What is their business model sustainable? Ubers and Lyft? It proved itself, hasn't it? I'll put you guys on, Tony and Mohammed. Give me a minute. Don't you think it's sustainable? Charge as much as you can, pay as little as you can. Looks good to me. Stock went from 23 to 90 bucks. It's a quadruple almost. Yeah. Looks pretty sustainable to me. Sergio, is full self-driving against TOS? No. Oh, FSD? No. No. A lot of drivers use it. I think it makes actually ride sharing more fun and easier if you have FSD in your Tesla. No, not at all. Doesn't say in TOS that it has to be a human. Nope. Not yet, anyway. Now that you asked and Uber is watching, watch the fucking change now tomorrow. The new TOS will show up. Looking forward to school year, yeah. Okay, every year, right? Summer season is over, school starting. You'll pick up, you'll get more trips. There you go. Done. Get rid of those pompous snobs. Make my coffee on time and give it to me. Do you think Americans will allow that? Americans will allow what, William? I don't know. Americans allow a lot of shit, bro. Americans are very naive. They just drink the Kool-Aid and they get the iPhone every 3 years and have a 7-inch TV and they think their standard of living is amazing. Nah. Bust. Yes. 1,000,000%. 100,000,000%. You can be here the next 2 years and you guys still be doing the same thing, complaining about it. Just invest next 2 years. Let's see where that money gets to. Don't know. They're very preliminary. I'm working on it actually. Okay, what about it? So what's going to happen? Full-on bloody revolution? William, man, you're glass half empty kind of guy, bro. If it didn't happen by now, with all the thing Americans have endured, I don't think it will happen. They just went through a cycle of 7% inflation for 5 years. When you're paying 20 bucks for a dozen eggs, they don't even blink an eye. Americans are good people. I mean, I'm an American, don't get me wrong, but I'm an immigrant. They're good people. They don't complain much. They complain about stupid stuff. They complain about, politics and shit, which is like garbage. UBI, yeah, I know UBI is horrible, but that's what's going to happen. What are all these millions of people going to do? What are all these millions of people going to do? No jobs, no food on the table. What are they going to do? It's tough. We have a tough stretch coming up, folks. That's all I know. They both left. They must have gotten trips. Hey, you guys have patience. I saw you guys. Come back. Jesus fucking. Come back, folks. Have I heard of this company? No. New companies cannot survive. Uber and Lyft rule. Sergio, I'm sure their insurance. Yeah, their insurance is going higher. My insurance went up 45% last year because I just had a college kid start driving. Of course, the insurance is going higher. All these ambulance chasers are suing them for everything they got, and as long as they know it's Uber. I mean, it is happening. That fraud shit is definitely happening. I mean, I don't know how badly, but it's happening. What was your opinion, Vaquero? Just my opinion, but if you and Chris can't do the show together, I don't see it being a problem. Just canceling a show for... It seems like you're stressing you out. No, I'm not stressed out, bro. I don't get stressed out about shit like that. I trade stocks, bro. You think I get stressed out about answering questions? Although I think it's necessary. I think we should do an extra live stream, just like this Q&A. I do it. I think it's good. I think it's good for the community. Yeah, they do actually. It's in effect. You're a good dude. You're doing your best. That's all. I don't worry about it. I'm just being facetious, guys. Don't take everything I say seriously, except if it's regarding trading. Man, I'm an Aries. I'm just stubborn as a mule, bro. What are you talking about? But I all know I know what to cut my losses though. Okay, Porfirio, see, this like I don't even know who you are, what you do, and it's gonna a little too much ganja. I don't know what that means. Okay, life of Richard. I don't see an AV can make any money when they are already. You're not thinking ahead, sir. You're not thinking ahead. Actually, I'm going to go on another channel to debate this issue. Unit economics now versus unit economics when they scale. We can talk about that on my finance channel, though. You're not thinking ahead, sir. You're thinking today. We don't think today in finance. We think 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years ahead. We don't think today. We don't look at anything today. You'll learn that, though. Okay, you're gone. This just doesn't make any goddamn sense. Not sense at all. No. Devo, grab the link and come on. Here's the link right there. I'm catching up. I've caught up. Good. See, this is the way to do it right there. Right there. Still a side hustle for me. Absolutely. You got a W-2. You enjoy driving, make a little cash on the side. No problem. No problem. Hey, man, Josh is not a liar. Maybe he is making more money. What are you guys getting pissed off about? Kona, Hawaii. How was that tsunami? The tsunami that never showed up? Hi, Sergio. Hello. You have a right Lyft employee that confirmed they are expanding. Yes, they are. That's already known. So I'm not going to give you financial advice, trading advice, but Lyft has done better than Uber. They're taking some market share and expansion to Europe through the buying a cab company, right? And now they're working with Baidu for autonomous vehicles and things like that. So the new management in Lyft is doing better than the old management. The old management killed the company, basically. That's completely demolished the company. Okay, William. Jesus. All right, I'm at the end of the chat. Now I'm going to talk to these nice, wonderful folks. Mohammed is easy. I talk to him every week when I put the link up. Okay, we're done with the chat, right? Oh, cool. Okay. All right, cool. Add Mohammed to stage. add Anita to stage and do this. See, I learned. Anita, hello, Anita.
Hello.
Mohammed,
Hello.
Allahu Akbar, my friend. How are you?
What is it? Greetings from the east. Hello to people in the west and the southeast and all over.
Mohammed, where were you born?
I was born in Beirut, Lebanon.
Beirut, Lebanon. Do you speak
Yes,
Arabic?
yes, I was born in Burj Hamud.
Port
And
Samoud.
my
Bro,
first,
I was there. I was in Port Samoud maybe like 15 years ago.
well, I was there almost like almost like 50 years ago. I used to play
50. How old
marbles.
are you?
I'm 58.
Oh, you
I
came here when you were 8. That's why your English is so good. That's why your accent is like not too noticeable.
I used to play marbles with Armenians.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
My cousins used to live in Lebanon.
Yeah.
In Beirut, actually. But
Yeah,
I
and
know
actually-
Burj Hamid. A lot of Armenians live in Burj Hamid.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So what
it
can I help you with today, Mohammed?
Well,
I know.
No, it's I said last time about strike will never work. Here's the reason why. I said the X factor. What is the X factor? Is a strike will happen. Other drivers will drive. So you have to talk to the riders and convince a lot of them not to use rideshare for that day. And the other thing is, Uber does not want to fire. Basically, they will make a living hell for drivers to just quit, and that's what is it? My car broke down again. My transmission is gone, so I'm renting a car from Uber to use for family and to drive for Uber. So I'm using it until the time being. But it's I once again it's a bad ride, so I need a car anyway. So might as well.
Okay. Listen. How long you been driving right here?
10 years. 10 years exactly.
10 years. Okay. What? Okay. In 10 years, you've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have a question for you, which I wrote the article about. Why do you keep still doing it?
Well, no, I mean it's I love
I'm not complaining. I'm just asking you. I just from a
No,
10-year
you're right.
veteran.
No, I
Why
know.
do you
It's,
keep doing it?
Yeah, but once it gets that bad, it's not worth it. It's not blessing me. So I will do that. It's probably very soon. So it's
Okay, but you still like doing it.
yeah. I mean, for the time being, yes. Now then if I'm gonna continue, I'm probably gonna get my a chauffeur's license and get a chauffeur's insurance and do it independently because
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
you should do it already.
yes, I should.
Yeah, because a lot of people say that to me. Oh, I want to do private trips. I want to do this, do that. I go, bro,
Yeah.
you got to do it though. You can talk about it. You got to do it, right?
Yes.
In everything that we do, we got to do it. So, Mohammed, I love you.
I love you too. Thank you for
Be
letting me on.
safe. Be safe, bro. Be safe. Please be safe. Take
Have
care
a
of
good
your
day.
health.
Enjoy everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Anita.
Yes. Hi, Sergio. How are you?
How are you, Anita?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Just
good.
dealing with these animals
I know.
over
It won't ever stop, Sergio.
No. I like you guys should have seen me on the trading desk like 35 years ago when I was type quadruple A personality. I would literally sit on people's throats for a quarter of a point when I was running the desk of 300 traders, all 25-year-olds with testosterone going through the roof. You guys should have met me now. I'm like completely chill and just couldn't care less about any of this stuff. So what city are you in, Anita?
I'm in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
And I've been driving since the beginning of the year, so I'm fairly
Oh, brand new. Almost. Okay, what brought you to rideshare?
I was just looking for a little extra cash, and my commute for my W-2 job is across the hallway from my bedroom. So I knew I needed to get out.
Okay.
And so I'm doing rideshare. Yeah, I'm making some extra cash, but it's mental health, and I'm just getting out and I'm meeting new people. And I'm seeing, I'm new to Omaha. Well, I've been here for about 3 years.
Okay.
And so I'm still learning the city, and I'm learning all the little nooks and crannies of where things are. And it's kind of fun when I'm dropping people off. I've never been in that area before. And I'm like, hey, I'm going
That's
to mark this
awesome.
down on my map and come back
I
to
mean,
this.
no, you know what? You're doing rideshare for the right reasons. They have a W-2 and you're doing
Mhm.
for some extra cash. Hopefully you have the right car. Hopefully you watch some content. Hopefully you're just not
I'm
accepting
watching
every
you all the
trip
time.
and, you know, all these things.
Yeah. But I thought I would take an opportunity tonight because, you know, with all the chat going on,
Yeah.
I know that, you know, I'm trying really hard to do things smart.
Yes.
I watch as much YouTube content, podcast content. I read as much as I can,
Okay.
just to stay current and to figure out how to get the most bang for my buck.
Okay.
But I'm wondering when, like, you don't worry for like Uber. I'm Blue. Do you
So am I.
worry about? Okay.
So am I.
Okay. See, and that's one of the things I was like, I don't know if I'm doing this right because there's no way my acceptance rate. There's no way I'm going to accept these rides from Uber. I have a minimum. You're not getting in my car for under $5. I don't care if I'm going a half a mile.
We say decline and recline.
Okay. Good. That makes me feel a little better. It makes me feel like I know what I'm doing over here.
Yes, you do. Because listen, there we have a great driver. I don't think he's here today, but in Boston, right? He's a good friend.
Mhm.
His name is Matt. We even do shows like we have this Matt Corner, right? So he put up this thing and we're going to show next week. So a lot of drivers, this is what they don't understand. And I understand this completely from my finance side. There's a thing called opportunity cost. Okay. So when you are on that, you accept that $5, $4, $3 trip, and it's going to take you 10 minutes. Okay. Now, there's no guarantee that a good trip is going to come to you in those 10 minutes, but you are losing opportunity cost because if you're in a decent sized city, you will definitely get something better than $4 trip that you're on.
Yeah.
And you're going to kill your car and you're going to miss that trip.
Right.
So you are definitely doing the right thing by declining and reclining.
Yeah.
And I don't know the hours you drive since you have a W-2. It may be some odd hours or maybe weekends. I don't know when you drive.
I usually concentrate on the weekends.
Yep. Okay.
I will always look for, and I've noticed, at least in my city, and I don't know if it's the same across the country, but a lot of people don't reserve rides on Uber.
Okay.
But I have in my city, there's a lot of people that reserve rides on Lyft. And so I'll always be checking on that to see if there's an airport ride at like 4 a.m. I'll take it if it makes sense. And then I'll drive for maybe an hour in the morning, you know, from like 5 a.m. until 6 o'clock. And then I come back to my house, make my coffee and start my day.
Yeah. No, I think you're doing the right thing. First of all, obviously you have a great attitude, but number two, you're not doing it because this is the only thing you're doing, and you're not pushing. Well, you're not allowing them to push your desperate buttons, right? And that's what happens, that you get in this vicious circle, right? Because this is your only thing, and now you're cussing and begrudgingly accepting those garbage offers because you need to put food on the table, and that is the worst position or situation a human can be.
Absolutely.
And these companies know that very well, and they do exploit and they do take advantage of drivers. And they had never had more supply. They call it supply. They don't call it drivers because we're not human. We're just supply. They call it supply is the highest ever. And it shows. You can tell. You can tell why. And you may not like it, but you're competing with all those drivers out there. They're your competition. They're not your friend. So, but you're doing the right thing. You're doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it for the right thing. You have both apps down. Last question. What kind of car do you drive?
So I was on earlier.
You're the one with the Audi or something.
Yes, I drive.
Bro, I have this photographic memory. I don't know. That's my
you
curse.
Have a very good memory.
That's my curse, bro. I remember everything. That's horrible. That's horrible. I just remembered that. I talk to 10,000 people a month. I remember your Audi. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so I drive my 2010 Audi. I bought it used. It had well over 130,000 miles on it.
Oh, it's depreciated then. It's okay.
Yes, it's totally fine. I know I don't get the greatest gas mileage, but it's a mental health aspect of it as well. It's just getting out and talking to some people and it's getting to see the city. And I'm totally okay with, I have my minimums. I need to make, I want to make at least $1 a mile, at least. And then I try really hard not to make it get me too far out of that busy section of the city.
Okay.
So I'm very choosy, but I've noticed, and I don't know if this is a normal thing, but like I'll go out and work both apps, and Uber is sending me $4 rides, or they're sending me a $17 ride that's going to take me 10 miles to get to where the ride is, and then the ride is another 10 miles, and they're going to pay $17. And I'm like, well,
I mean, look, you're doing the right things, right? You don't force it, let it come to you.
Right.
Don't ever forget about opportunity cost. It's not about, in this, they want you to be quantity over quality. You want to be quality over quantity. And
Absolutely.
Whoever says there's no more quality, there's no more cherries, there are. Ask Matt. Oh, he just showed up right here. Mr. Cherry picking, sniping. Anyway, but good to see you. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on. Please be safe. Please have a dash cam.
Yes, I have a dash cam. I'm a dash cam girl.
Please, cool. All right. Thank you. Have a good one. Be safe. All right. Who's next? Our Marka. What's up?
Yes, sir. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
loud and clear.
I've had audio issues the last couple times I've tried to get online here with y'all. I'm a veteran driver. I've been doing it for 8 years now, part-time. I have my full-time day job. I'm in College Station, Texas.
Oh, okay. All right. College kids.
It was a very lucrative market, but we recently did switch to the Upfront fares back in May 18th, I believe.
Oh, you just did switch to Upfront fares.
Yeah, they are night and day difference from what the rate card was. It is crazy how much cheaper the rides are now instantly.
Do you really think so, though? Do you think so? Because you're seeing
Yes.
the destination, you think that's the difference, or do you really think they're cheaper?
They
compare apples to apples comparison.
Well, we used to get 90 cents a mile and 11 cents a minute for an X ride, which is pretty decent. That's better than a lot of even the major markets. And now sometimes going from College Station is a twin city. They have Bryan, Texas, just north of it. Going from, say, South College Station to North Bryan or downtown Bryan, Texas, which is a fairly common destination. It's about 10 to 12 miles. Those rides are paying $8.
Wow.
And there's absolutely no way I'm going to take an $8 ride for that. I mean, our market is, we live off the minimum. So the $4 rides pay the bills. It's what you got to do. We go through, it's more of how many rides per hour can you get? 4 or 5 rides per hour, 4 or 5 rides at $4 a ride, $5 a ride. It starts.
Does it surge? Does it surge in your city?
Not like it used to. It used to be really great, several surges a night. And now the Friday, Saturday night bar scenes are, you might get 1 or 2 $10 surges on it at the end of the night. We are in the middle of summertime, so it is hard to tell exactly how drastic this change is. Going to the Upfront fares, but
you'll know when colleges are back on and seasonality is kind of worn off and football is back. You'll know. You'll know then, because hopefully it'll surge again. But you're at the right thing, right? Look, again, you're just like Anita. You have a W-2. You're just, all you're doing is supplementing and driving, and you don't have to drive. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
No, it's extra money. It's vacation money. It's investment money. I have it's a Robinhood account. It's not the greatest.
Doesn't matter.
But it is something. I'm putting money into it. I'm putting into dividend stocks every month, and over the last several years I've been able to build that up. And
that's all I'm asking, man. That's all I'm asking. I mean, go subscribe to my finance channel. You'll learn a lot. It's free.
I hear you talk about it all the time, but I haven't been to it yet. I need to.
Yeah, just go there, and you'll get a lot of content. You'll learn a lot about different things. But you're doing the right things, man. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Sir. Thank you for having me.
Okay, stay safe. Tony.
Hey, what's going on, Sergio?
I don't know, Tony. You're driving.
How are you?
You're driving and talking to me. I don't know. I don't want you to hit something now. I don't know.
No. I'm not driving. I've just pulled over right now.
Thank God.
So I'm in New Jersey right now.
Oh.
And Honestly, my name is Tony, and I've been seeing for the past. I've been driving for almost now 8 months to be exact. Yeah, 8 months,
Okay.
and now it's economy slowing down big time over
Okay.
here. I was roughly making between $700 to $800 for, I would say, since January all the way up till April, and then started to slightly go downhill.
Well, so do you have a job or do you do this for a living or what is it?
I'm in financial services, and I also do
Okay.
this part-time.
Okay. Well, there you go. Again, it's not your livelihood, right? So,
No.
but yeah, I see what you're saying. And look, there is definitely the summer season in a lot of cities, right?
Uh-huh.
Is definitely slow. There are reasons for that. Number one, you could be in Arizona, let's say it's hot as hell and people leave, number one. But in Jersey, I'm sure weather is better, but a lot of school teachers, a lot of college kids, a lot of people drive in summer because they're off work, right? So you have a
Correct.
lot more drivers in the city, and then that's why your earnings are kind of there. And the demand is also slows down a little bit. So you will see. We'll see how, like, when does public schools open in your neighborhood?
Around September 3rd.
September. Okay, well, but
Yeah.
until then it'll probably be slow, but it'll start trickling back up and picking back up because the difference between January to April versus after school is out to, let's say August, middle of August, first couple of weeks of August when school starts is quite different. And you're just in a summer slowdown and it'll pick up. I can attest to that. So I've seen that before.
I see.
Okay. But you're new. You're like Anita. You're like 8 months old, man. Beautiful.
Yeah, 8 months. Yeah. Well,
I'm so glad all three
I've
of
been
you.
doing Uber. I did Uber Eats too, 2018, and
Okay.
then I started to do this. I was like, let me see, because the food was unbelievable. You were making money 2018 for food deliveries. I don't have to tell you. You probably already know how it
Yeah.
was. It was constantly busy. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You were easily making approximately easy $900 if you
Yeah.
pulled like
Tips.
10 hours
Yeah.
a day. You
Tips.
know, tips
Yeah.
and all that. Yeah. So
Well,
it
here's
was.
a good suggestion for you. Here's a good suggestion, Tony. You need to drive at the shore. I agree with that comment. Actually, we have a couple
I
of
do.
drivers.
I
Okay.
I do drive at the shore. I do that on the weekends.
Okay.
That's more like my weekend kind of thing.
Okay. Cool. Well, as long as look, the thing is, all three of you that showed up, except Mohammed, don't need to do this for a living, which is the worst thing you can do because then you're desperate. Then you got to accept garbage. You got to put food on the table. You got to make the car note. You got to make rent. You got to do this. And then at the end of the month, you got nothing to show for it. And then you have to do it again. You have to do it again. You have to do it again. And it just becomes this debilitating situation. It really is. And well, I'm glad, you're new, but you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm
Keep doing
enjoying it. It's still good. Well, I'm not. If this doesn't work, I'm in financial services, so I always got something backed up.
You're a young guy. You know about financial services. You got to save your money. You got to invest for the long
Exactly.
term. You got to do all that because there's nothing like it, right? So, but thank
Correct.
you, man. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much, Sergio.
Be
Have a
safe.
great evening.
You too.
Bye.
All right, folks. On the dot, 4:58. 2 more minutes. No. Okay, we're all done. Okay. I think I did a good job. You guys want me to do these again or no? No. I don't know how many of you were here, but that chat was on fire. And most of you have left, it looks like. Okay, 2 minutes. Well, Chris will be back next week. We can do this properly. I'm just going to log out. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the questions, the comments. If you're interested in DisplayRide, it's in the show notes. Please go check it out. It's my dash cam. I like it, but there are many choices like Nexar and things like that. But don't drive without a dash cam. That's number 2. Number 3, please take care of your health. I wrote an article about, okay, I'm really not schlepping it. It's free, people. I'm not. It's free. Just go sign up to the newsletter, www.therideshareguy.com. One of the articles I wrote about the hidden costs of rideshare. It's not about just money. It's about our health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health, all that stuff comes into doing rideshare. It's not an easy thing to do. People think it is. It is not. And I want you to stay healthy, take care of yourself, be safe. And yes, please put a thumbs up. It's free. See? No charge here. Free. Thank you, everyone. I think I enjoy doing this, actually. I enjoy doing Q&A, and maybe once a month we can do something like this. Thanks, Matt. Much appreciated, bro. Look at you all. Suddenly, you're all complimenting me instead of calling me all kinds of names. Hey, no, I love you all. I think you guys are the best. But please listen to me. See the end of the tunnel. The tunnel, that light may be the train. I know a lot of you are in a situation that you can't help it and you're doing it, but rideshare is not, be all end all. Rideshare is just rideshare. You're better than that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do. Don't get me wrong. Not you're better than rideshare or better than what you're doing. But you have qualities that you probably have not even discovered yet. And I would love for you to start venturing out, get out of the comfort zone, get out of the box, start thinking out of the box, do some things. Because the world is evolving, it's changing. And, all I can tell you is don't get comfortable where you are. This game is about to get upended. Disruptors are going to get disrupted. So anyway, thumbs up. Please put a thumbs up. Thank you, everyone. Much appreciated. We'll see you guys next week. Back on scheduled regular programming. And hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, actually, drop me a note, Sergio@therideshareguy.com, and say, yeah, maybe once a month we can do these Q&A kind of things. I don't mind. Doing it. Harry will love it, probably. So, and we'll see. We'll see what kind of response we get. All right. Good night. Stay healthy. Be safe.